We left Plashinga Sea Lake this morning, heading to Au, stopping at Mauthausen concentration camp memorial site, a very confronting and sad place. After a quiet night, we went for an early walk by the boat harbour this morning, had some breakfast, packed up our gear and set off to Grime. It's a beautiful, sunny and warm day, but with a lovely gusty headwind. The path took us beside the river and then across through fields until we reached Grime. We stopped for some stecklerfish and a beer in a little restaurant on the side of the road a few kilometres before we reached town. We set up in a great campground, right on the river, just below the beautiful castle. We got organised this morning and rode down to wait with about 20 other cyclists for the ferry to cross the river. It's perfect riding weather this morning, with a quiet road following the river, with an occasional car passing by. She's chasing skies I've never named while I stay in my lane. But something in the way she moves keeps pulling at my chain. The day heated up as we rode through some fields and stopped in Yibs and checked out some Roman ruins. As we got closer to Melk, we could see the abbey perched up on a hill from about 10 k's out. By the time we rolled into Melk, it was 35 and hot. We set up our tent and went for a ride into the old town. To walk beside your wandering dance. She hums a tune I've never heard in languages I can't speak. After a cup of tea, we packed up and wandered back into town for some breakfast. We're having a change of pace today and catching the ferry from Melk to Krems. The scenery was amazing, and we passed towns, cruise ships, and working barges as we made our way down the river. We passed a castle high up on the hilltop, where Richard the Lionheart had been held captive for ransom. The ferry is definitely one of the best ships we've ever been on. It stashed its smokestack, mast and cabin away to pass under a very low bridge on the river. So cool. We arrived in Krems and pushed our bikes 200 metres to our guest house for the night. With some instructions from our host, we headed up through the old houses and 2 churches, past a section of the original town wall to look for a cheese and wine bar. We didn't find it, so we headed back down for dinner in a delicious Italian restaurant. After a yummy buffet breakfast at our guest house this morning, we packed up and headed off by 9 on our way to Tulln. The path was flat and smooth this morning, along by the river, through fields, through beautiful woodland, with a tailwind, and we arrived in Tulln in record time. We had a look through the town centre, then continued on our way to our campsite for the night, right next to a swimming lake. We're heading to Vienna today and it's going to be hot. So we were up early, 6:30, had breakfast and got on the road. It was good going this morning with a tailwind, and the path was nice and new. There are lots of daisies and flowers along the banks of the flood dyke, and the smell of them riding along is beautiful.
Boat harbour at Vienna. That's Vienna up there in the distance.
By the time we arrived in Vienna and got lost several times, it was really hot. So we stopped for a quick swim in the Danube in the middle of Vienna. We eventually made it to our campsite and set up our tent, but we slept outside on our picnic blanket until it cooled down enough to go to bed. We have 3 nights in Vienna, So armed with some instructions from reception and a city pass, we headed into the city centre to explore the beautiful city. With churches, castles, horses, old cobblestone streets, there is a lot to look at in Vienna. We also had lunch at the Hard Rock Cafe and met a couple from Perth spending a few days in Vienna. Our second sightseeing day around Vienna, and the first stop was the Spanish riding school for the 10 a.m. morning training session. It was fantastic. Then we headed out to the giant Ferris wheel. From here, we had a wonderful 360 degrees view of Vienna and the surrounding area. A beautiful way to finish our stop in Vienna. Back at our campground, a family of grasshoppers had moved in to share their night with us.
Just leaving Vienna.
We were packed up and on our bikes at 8:30 this morning, heading out of Vienna on our way to Bratislava, Slovakia. The track was good today, mostly along the top of the flood dike. It was warm, a little bit cloudy with a breeze, so perfect conditions for our 65k ride today.
This is like the road from Ningen to Bert. Straight as far as you can see. Just coming into Hainburg. The bridge right up there that we came across, and the Danube River. We're down that way to Bratislava.
Heading out of Hainburg, we could see the city of Bratislava far away in the distance. As we approached Bratislava, we couldn't miss the giant UFO bridge standing tall above the river, and across the river we went into Slovakia, checking in to our lovely hotel for 2 nights. After a very welcome shower, we wandered through the old town, having a couple of beers, buying a few souvenirs, and finishing with a delicious pizza. It's a glorious Sunday in Bratislava, and we spent the day sightseeing, including the beautiful castle, the old wall, the UFO bridge, and the Blue Church, which was closed for renovations during our visit. From the top of the UFO bridge, we could see across into Austria and Hungary. We finished our wonderful day in Bratislava with a couple of beers and a traditional garlic soup.